Standing on the flight deck of the USS George H.W. Bush, you don't just see steel and aircraft, you feel pure power and motion. The deck vibrates beneath your feet, the roar of jet engines is deafening, and beneath all that chaos, two nuclear reactors silently push this 100,000-ton giant through the ocean like it's nothing. This isn't just another aircraft carrier. CVN-77 is the final ship of the legendary Nimitz class, the last evolution of a design that defined U.S. naval dominance for nearly 50 years. It entered service in 2009 and was named after America's 41st president, a man who was also a U.S. Navy pilot during World War II. This carrier holds around 5,000 personnel, operates over 60 aircraft, and carries enough power to influence military and political outcomes thousands of kilometers away without ever needing to step onto foreign soil. CVN-77 is essentially a bridge between Cold War doctrine and 21st century naval warfare, featuring upgrades like reduced radar signature, improved fuel systems, and a modernized command structure. In short, it's a Nimitz-class carrier, but refined, upgraded, and sharpened. And once you dive into its history and strategic role, you realize this is not just a ship, it's a floating city, a political message, and a moving runway in the middle of the ocean. Before the USS George H.W. Bush CVN-77 ever touched open water, it began as steel plates and a long-term strategic decision. Construction started in Newport News, Virginia, the only place in the U.S. capable of building nuclear-powered aircraft carriers. That alone shows the scale of the project. This isn't mass production, it's generational engineering craftsmanship. In 2006, the ship was officially christened, with George H.W. Bush himself present. Very few warships are named after living individuals, and even fewer after someone who once flew real combat missions from a carrier deck. Bush was only 20 years old in 1944 when he was shot down over the Pacific. Naming CVN-77 after him wasn't just ceremonial, it was symbolic, honoring a naval aviator by the very institution that once launched him into war. From the beginning, CVN-77 was never meant to be just another Nimitz. It was a transition point. Engineers added technologies that later became the foundation of the Ford class, including radar cross-section improvements, more modern electronics, and systems designed for easier maintenance. And then came the deployments. Less than 2 years after entering service, the ship was already active in the Mediterranean and Persian Gulf, supporting real combat and coalition missions. If you've ever wondered what raw naval power looks like when translated into engineering, USS George H.W. Bush CVN-77 is the perfect answer. This carrier isn't just big, it's deliberately and methodically massive. Powered by two A4W nuclear reactors, it can operate for over 20 years without refueling, meaning no fuel stops, no tanker dependency, just sustained global reach. Officially, its top speed is listed as 30+ knots, about 56 kilometers per hour, but that plus suggests it's faster than what's publicly stated. In terms of size, it's a true giant, roughly 100,000 tons full load, 333 meters long, with a flight deck width of 77 meters and a draft of about 11.3 meters. It runs on 4 propulsion shafts and can carry 60 to 75 aircraft, while the total personnel on board can reach around 2,200 people. Its air wing typically includes FA-18 Super Hornets, EA-18G Growlers, E-2D Hawkeyes, and MH-60 helicopters, essentially a full airbase at sea. Its catapults can launch aircraft from 0 to over 240 kilometers per hour in under 3 seconds. One lesser-known fact is that CVN-77 also introduced limited stealth improvements. Its island structure was redesigned with a more curved shape to reduce radar signature. It's not a stealth carrier, but it appears smarter and smaller on radar than earlier versions. The human factor is just as impressive. Nearly 5,000 people live and work on board, more than the population of some small towns. Its power generation is strong enough to supply a city of around 140,000 people, so this isn't just a warship, it's a self-contained nuclear-powered metropolis moving across the ocean. Operationally, USS George H.W. Bush proved itself quickly. Its first deployment was in 2011 to the Mediterranean, but its major combat role began in 2014 when it deployed to the Persian Gulf and supported airstrikes against ISIS in Iraq and Syria. Later deployments in 2017 and 2022-2023 also placed it in the Mediterranean alongside NATO forces, especially during the Ukraine crisis, where it carried out deterrence missions, joint drills, and reassurance operations. Its presence alone can rapidly shift the military and political balance in an entire region. One of the most overlooked aspects of aircraft carriers is maintenance and modernization. While it lacks dramatic flight ops, this is where the ship's real longevity is built. Carriers are designed for roughly 50 years of service, which demands massive upgrade cycles. In 2018, CVN-77 entered a major overhaul program in Norfolk, where key systems like combat electronics, radar, communication suites, launch systems, propulsion checks, and even crew living spaces were upgraded. This long modernization period ended in 2024 with successful sea trials, essentially a full-speed final exam where every major system is stress-tested. Modernization isn't just about replacing hardware, it's about preparing for new threats, electronic warfare, and cybersecurity challenges. CVN-77 returned sharper and more capable than before. Life on board the USS George H.W. Bush is like living in a floating steel city. Nearly 5,000 people stay on board for months, surrounded by ocean with no real access to the outside world. The crew is split into two groups, around 3,200 sailors running the ship itself, and about 2,000 aviation personnel managing the air wing. On the flight deck, everything is controlled through color-coded uniforms and precise teamwork. The ship never sleeps, operations run 24/7, and even the galley produces around 15,000 meals per day. With facilities like a hospital, gyms, and limited internet access, life is exhausting and repetitive, but it builds strong bonds and unforgettable stories among the crew. Strategically, USS George H.W. Bush is far more than a combat vessel. It is a political and military instrument. Wherever it enters, regional security calculations shift instantly. Alongside destroyers, submarines, and advanced aircraft, it forms a multi-layered strike force capable of launching attacks or simply projecting deterrence through presence alone. Its air wing can generate over 120 combat sorties per day, functioning like a fully independent mobile air force without relying on foreign bases. In recent crises, especially in Europe, it has played a key role in power projection and alliance support. Overall, CVN-77 represents a form of power that is always ready, even without firing a single shot. Thank you so much for staying with us until the end of this video. Don't forget to leave a comment and share your thoughts with us. Make sure to hit the like button if you enjoyed the video, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more content like this.